Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today's video is a review of Smoking Hot by Kilian. A friend of mine very kindly sent me a sample, thank you. And I've been wearing it and we're gonna spray it on again and I'm gonna tell you about it. So the note, or the card here, should I say, the fumes of an intoxicating hooker is what it says. So it's like the tobacco thing that they smoke that's flavored. The initial blast I get is quite sweet, and the sillage is quite lively in the opening, like spraying it on my hand here, I get it like immediately in my face. You get this kind of sweet, warm, a little bit of spiciness. There's an apple accord which is quite noticeable. And so you get this sweet kind of slightly spicy apple kind of aroma that's again quite vanillic, quite sweet. It's mixed with tobacco absolute. Vanilla is listed in the notes, you get a lot of vanilla in this. And the tobacco I think is quite noticeable, although on the initial blast I would say it's more sweet than tobacco, and then you start to get the kind of tobacco vibe. Initially you're going to get sugary sweet vanilla and apple, I would say. And then you start to notice this kind of more woody kind of spiced kind of tobacco, cinnamon is in here, and you get a little bit of that kind of vibe going on. It's actually quite pleasant. I don't mind it, I quite like it. I probably wouldn't wear it myself as a scent, so to speak. But if I smelled it on somebody else, I would think that they smell good, and I think it actually comes across fairly unisex. I don't think it would matter if a man or a woman would wear this. I don't think it goes either way. It's kind of down the middle for me personally. The tobacco isn't overly masculine in a sense. It's because of the sweetness and the fruity quality to it. It's very gender neutral. I do find it kind of creamy in the way that it comes across. It has a kind of creamy kind of vibe. And in all honesty, there's really no change in this fragrance much of all. You're gonna get a little bit of a kind of an apple kind of opening that's quite sweet and vanillic, and kind of reminds me a little bit of like I've walked past people that are smoking these electronic vapes, and when they blow out something that's kind of you know, the flavored, that's you get like sweet apple flavor thing. I don't know, there's millions of flavors of vape, but when you get that kind of sweet smell of fruity vape, you get kind of I mean, I know it's designed around a hookah pipe, so you're smoking that kind of stuff anyway. But you can imagine like someone just puffing on a vape and blowing it out, and it smells a bit like this. So just to give you an idea, but you're gonna get fruity kind of apple, vanilla, sweet, creamy, smooth. The tobacco is not overly aggressive, it's smooth, it's soft. Like I say, not overly masculine, it's blended very well. And really it doesn't change. From then on, it just stays the same and gets softer. In terms of performance, I would say it's a skin scent after around the 2 to 3 hour mark. It's coming quite close to the skin. 4 hours, it's, you know, someone's going to have to give you a hug in order to smell it, I would think. Again, at the 6 hour mark, not really any change, apart from I would say that kind of appley accord has kind of disappeared, and you're left with this kind of slightly spiced vanillic tobacco kind of accord, which is very pleasant, very likable, quite mass appealing, very well rounded. And yeah, very likable in general. And I would say longevity caps out on my skin around 8 to 9 hours. So 8 hours as a whole day. I would say it comes across more of a casual kind of nighttime fragrance. I wouldn't wear this in the daytime personally because of the level of sweetness. I find it quite sweet. Nighttime, cooler weather, autumn, winter, and I kind of think who would wear this kind of scent? I can imagine, you know, maybe like a guy dressed quite casually but like kind of smart at the same time, like maybe just a simple black t-shirt but with like a nice quality black leather jacket and jeans, you know, casual but smart on a night out, but not like, you know, not getting drunk or whatever, but, you know, out with friends. And yeah, in an evening in slightly cooler weather, I think this would smell pretty good on a guy. In terms of a girl or a lady, again, it smells casual in my brain, but I think a girl could pull it off a little bit more dressed up. You know, if she's wearing a very nice kind of evening dress, I think this on a woman would actually work pretty good on a night out or on an evening, even on a date occasion maybe. because of the sweetness in it. I think it's would be quite attractive on a woman. I would say if, you know, if a woman was around me wearing this, I would think that she smells pretty good. I'm trying to think of like other reviewers out there that I could think who would smell good wearing this, like who would it suit. I think Justin Copeland would pull this one off quite well, just to give you like a vibe of like who could kind of wear this thing and smell good. I don't know, when I smell things I get a kind of a vibe of who would wear it. I don't know whether it's always accurate, whether they actually would like it. But I feel like Justin would probably pull this one off well. In terms of female reviewers, maybe someone like Curly Sense. Like I'm just thinking the dark, very dark hair. That I don't know, vibe of her energy and the dark hair would probably fit this fragrance better. Weirdly, I get kind of impressions of I can't imagine a blonde pulling this off as well. Weirdly, I don't know why. I think of dark hair when I smell this on a person. I don't see like someone that's like very like fine blonde hair pulling this one off quite as well. I'm not sure, it would seem to not match in my head. I don't know why. Does anyone else get that? Why you kind of get an impression of like who would wear it? It's visually even, not just like personality wise, but like aesthetically. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But yeah, I can imagine those two kind of pulling this off and it working quite well on their skin, and then probably liking this one. It would be interesting if I could like see what they thought in real life, whether or not that impression matches or not. Altogether, to round it up, I think it's very nice. I think the smell is good. I can see it being kind of popular, to be honest, because of the sweetness, because it has a little bit of mass appeal. I think it's well blended, it's smooth, it's very pleasant, it smells good in the air. But yeah, like I say, there's not much change or development. It is quite a linear fragrance on my skin. It just kind of gets softer and disappears, and again loses the fruity quality of the apple kind of vibe. If you like tobacco on a kind of a more sweeter kind of vanillic kind of level, you might like this, although as I'm saying that I'm thinking of something like Tobacco Vinny by Tom Ford, and it doesn't smell anything like that, and so, you know, maybe that's not the greatest example. It is very different. Personally, I'm not a fan of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I think this is nicer to my own taste personally, in terms of something that uses both tobacco and vanilla. But there you go. Yeah, this is pleasant, but I just wouldn't buy a bottle myself. I wouldn't wear it myself personally. Even though I think it smells good, I wouldn't wear it. That's it. That's the best way I can review it. It's very likable. I think some people will really love it. It's kind of specific in the taste, I would say, in terms of, you know, you gotta kind of like that kind of fruity tobacco, vanillic kind of smell. But it's quite well done, and I think it lasts, you know, a good amount of time. 8 hours will be good for pretty much everybody. That's it. There's nothing much else I could say about it. It's quite simple to describe, really. If you tried it, let me know your thoughts. It's probably one of the better ones in terms of smell for me from the by Kilian line. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of their stuff. There's only a couple that I think are kind of good. I would put this in the category of better, you know, good from their line. Some of them I'm not kind of taken with at all, but this one is decent. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again soon with some more, and stay safe. Bye.
One time he disappeared for 2 or 3 days. When he came back, they asked him where he'd been, and he said, "Oh, just sailing."